Hey, what's up YouTube? Brownie here, coming to you with another video. Today's video, I want to help the community figure out an answer to the question, what transcendence hero should I build next? So that whenever you guys get 5 million crystals of transcendence, you'll be able to figure out on your own who to build next. Now, I don't think it's too complicated the way I do this. There's really only like 3 questions I ask myself about a hero, and we're gonna get into that. But first, you might be thinking, I'm gonna use a tier list or make a tier list, but no, I'm not gonna do that. I hate tier lists a lot. So yeah, we're not gonna do that. I'll do like a PvP fight quick. I'm going to talk about why I don't like tier lists, and then we'll hop over to an infographic that I made for this. Let's see. Yeah, he's pretty strong. Alright. Oh, my PvP team's gotten a bit stronger now too. Anyway, so why I don't like tier lists. I don't like to compare heroes by themselves when 90% of the game you're on a team. Like, aside from Aspen Dungeon, that's like the only time you ever have a hero that's alone, I think. Also, tier lists can confuse newer players because newer players need knowledge of the game to really take advantage of it, and the knowledge that they need to take advantage of the tier list they just don't have. So it can confuse them, and it ends up making them build something that they really shouldn't have done. Also, the meta can influence a tier list, causing a bias and not making an objective measure of the hero's power. Also, they're bad for future planning because we get like 6 transcendence heroes a year, so the tier list would constantly change all year long. And yeah, for those reasons, and not just those reasons, I don't like tier lists. There's many more. I just don't want to get into it a whole lot. I'd rather talk about this other stuff that I was describing in the beginning here. So yeah, we're gonna let this PvP fight finish, and then we'll hop over to this infographic that I made, and yeah, let's see if Vulcan can do a big old active. All right. Let's see. Okay. See the damn queen counters? Here we go. Huh. Only killed the Ilomac. That's alright. I mean, we're gonna win this fight, so we'll just skip it. Let's see. I only took like 98 million damage. These pandas and Ilomac are just crazy. Alright, so yeah, let's go hop over to this infographic. I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so here's the infographic that I made. As you can see, I've got 3 categories, and there's also 3 questions that I like to ask myself about a hero in order to place them in these categories. And those 3 questions are, would I build a team around this hero? Can this hero be added to any team? And does this hero bring utility to the team? So with these 3 questions, I'm able to pretty much figure out a hero's role and put them in a certain category. Now I'm gonna, explain these categories. So the legendary category, these heroes answer yes to all 3 of these questions. You can build a team around them. They could be your main homeowner and be your big damage dealer. You can put them into any team, and they bring utility to whatever team they're on. So even if I don't make them a homeowner, they're going to be on any team. You could put them on any team if you wanted to. Aspen with his fear and his energy drain, he just will fit on any team you want. Vesa also has her shields and her healing. And then on top of that, those things, they both can be big damage dealers. So these are really the only two heroes that fit this criteria that would put them in the legendary category, in my opinion. The next category we have is the vanguard category. These heroes answer yes to two of the questions, and these are heroes you would build a team around, and they bring some utility to the team they're on. Not to the level of Aspen or Vesa, but they bring utility to the team. But excuse me. You can't just put them into any team. So a hero like Vulcan, for example, you would of course make him your main homeowner and your big damage dealer, and he brings some utility to the team with his CC. But if he's not your main homeowner and putting out all that big damage, you're not just going to throw him on your team because he can sometimes get a CC off when he does his active. That's not how you use Vulcan. So that puts him in the vanguard category. Other heroes like that are Jara or SFX. Just mainly your damage dealers. Jara's not really... Well, Jara can be a pretty big damage dealer if you build her that way. But whether you build her for damage or you build her for CC, you have to build around her. Now the third tier is the tactical tier, and these heroes also answer yes to two of the questions, but they answer yes to the opposite questions of the vanguard heroes, because these heroes you can plug into any team and they bring utility to any team, but they would never be your main homeowner. So like a hero like Freya, you would never make her your damage dealer, but you can plug her into like any team if you really wanted to. Queen's pretty much the same way. You just kind of have to pick the hero that would fit your team the best. So, when you're on your account and you're asking yourself, what does my team or my account need to find the right hero? You can kind of think about that when you figure out an answer. If it's a tactical hero that you need, you can just check this and see like, okay, these are my choices. I know I need help with CC removal and I also need healing, so I'm going to take Elena. Things like that. Now let's go through an example of an account or something that has like 3 transcendence heroes. So let's say we have Mockman, Aspen, Idlemac. Now, when you're in the early game with like early to mid game with like 3 transcendence heroes, your choices are somewhat limited because your homeowner needs to have tenants. So knowing that, you're going to want to identify the biggest issue you're having on your account, whether that's a damage issue or maybe you keep dying early and you just need a little more support. You just need to identify the issue. Then you can figure out what type of hero you need, and you're going to look to see if any of the tenants that are available match your needs. In this case, Mockman's the homeowner, and we have Idlemac as a tenant already. Now, if we were having healing issues on the team, I would probably go with Arania, tactical tier hero. If I needed more support through damage, I would take SFX, Vanguard hero. She's going to be able to help Mockman actually with getting the kills that he just doesn't finish off, because he sometimes leaves a lot of low health heroes, and she always attacks the lowest health hero. So they actually are a pretty good combo. The only time I would ever go outside a tenant as my choice for like a 4th hero is if my team just couldn't survive without a strong healer. And I don't think I would ever choose another damage dealer that's not a tenant in an early account. like this. Like, I would never choose a Vulcan as my fourth hero. It's almost always going to be a tactical, or it's got to be a tenant. Now, these three heroes as a starting trio is actually rather good in my opinion. You could build Mockman, then Aspen, then let Mockman actually tenant for Aspen until you can get Ilamac. And once you have Ilamac, you can make Mockman your homeowner. Aspen can be support, and your fourth Transcendence hero could be SFX or Aranio, just based on your needs. So now you have four trans heroes, a main homeowner, and the tenants plus a support. Now is when you can start to experience some freedom to take your account in whatever direction, and whatever that direction is. This formula of questions will hopefully help you identify a hero's roles and where they fit on your account. Now let's talk about some of the heroes in each of the categories. We already talked about Aspen and Vesa, but let's see. So let's see about Mockman. He's obviously a big damage dealer. You'd build a team around him, and he brings some utility to your team with when he's in his offensive stance, he gives you some offensive buffs, and when he's in his defensive stance, he gives your team some defensive buffs. Now, that puts him in the vanguard territory or category, because you wouldn't be able to just plug him into any team. The offensive stat buffs that he gives and the defensive stat buffs that he gives just aren't sufficient enough to make him a legendary category hero. Eos, she's got good damage over time. It's a little bit different than burst damage, but she used to do really good in the Panda teams back in the day. I'm sure there's other ways we can find to use her, but she has the big damage, and then also she has utility with her energy drain when she dies. Now, the problem is she has to die for that energy drain, so that keeps her out of the legendary category. But she's still a great vanguard hero to build a team around. Jara, she also can do some really big damage. I've seen it done in campaign, and she also has amazing CC. So she's another good vanguard hero to build a team around, and she has utility for that team. But you can't really plug her into any team because you need her to be speedy and really fast, so you need her to be the homeowner, and you need heroes to support her. That's why she's not in the legendary category, and that's why she's in Vanguard. Now the tactical tier, or the tactical category, Queen, she increases your whole team's all damage dealt, plus she has the corruption thing, the abyssal corruption, and her counterattacks can really be devastating to enemy teams. So for those reasons, she's in tactical and not in Vanguard, because you would never build her as your main damage dealer. That wouldn't work. Asmodel, he's in tactical. He can be pretty damagey. He has some DPS behind him sometimes, but mainly he's good for glorious support, and he slows the enemies, so he has some good utility, but I don't think his damage is sufficient enough to put him up in the Vanguard category. So that's why I have him in tactical. Elena, she heals, she provides defensive buffs or offensive buffs depending on her trick, and she also removes CC from your heroes when the enemy does actives. Those are huge utility skills. So that's why she's in tactical tier, because you would never build a team around her. She doesn't do damage, and yeah, that's the main theme with these heroes in the tactical tier or tactical category. They don't do huge damage. Ilamac is another one. His damage needs to be tested still, I think, but we're pretty sure he he wouldn't really be a good damage dealer as like a main damage dealer that you would build a team around. But he gives shields. He also CCs with his counterattack, and he gives damage buffs with the sublimations. So yeah, that's pretty much why I put those heroes in the categories that I did. And I'm thinking about doing a part 2 to this video, talking about like hero synergies and team building, things like that. So if that's something you guys are interested in, let me know in the comments, and let me know if this was even understandable for you guys, and if it maybe helped for in the future when you're trying to decide like what your account needs. And yeah, so please like and subscribe. I really want to hit that 1K mark. And so enjoy your night and have a good one.